This is my study, workroom, or as I've always called it, my creation station. And on the door right now I have what Mike likes to call a go bag. It's got all my safety and security stuff when I go out for my walks. And then I take my camera, and I've recently bought a big water bottle with insulator. So for now they're on my door. I'm in the middle of sorting this room out and refining it. And for those of you who don't know, this is where my life's come from, and I've had quite a big change around. So let's go through all the areas to start with. Now this is seasonal and it will change. These shelves here are what I have in my sun lounge in the growing season. So that's in my winter, and I don't use these very much in here. I have to put them here in the spring, summer, autumn because they are plastic and they would be too hot. But this time of year I use them to prep any seeds. So they're not going to have a permanent use, and you can probably hear Colin Waffles. Mr. Colin Waffles loves to come in here and be on the lives. So you can see at the moment I'm prepping different seeds, and I always use, we call it greaseproof paper, but you might call it cooking parchment or something like this. So these shelves are useful for prepping. I've just picked those leek seeds today, so I need to deal with those. And on this shelf for now I have my growing plan file, which has a plan of all the garden, so I can quickly flip through and see what needs seeding and what's growing. That's all the hugel beds, those 2 pages, and so on and so forth. All the different areas are in here. And I have done a video on this, which I'll link below for you to see what's growing. And for now, as I say, this is temporary, just for this time of year. Here's a box here where Mike puts any recycled stuff that I can use to grow in, jars for seeds, anything he finds that he gets rid of that I can use in the garden. These are great. So everything he puts in here for me to sort where I want them. And he was putting them in this box here, but for now Mr. Colin Waffles has decided this is his bed in here while I'm in the room, and then if he hears a live going on he jumps out and comes and sits on my lap and starts typing, don't you? Yes. He'll be in that box any second now. It's probably because I'm lurking around. As I say, some more seeds I'm just prepping and sorting for my free seed giveaway that I'm selecting someone every month that's a great supporter of my channel in any respect, even leaving comments regularly. So I'm sorting those out. And then this bottom box is where I put anything that I want to talk about in my lives. So if you like, it's my active live box. And then when these shelves go back for growing in the winter for my indoor garden, obviously that crate can just sit there and I won't have things so much to collect. I might have one more box of stuff to sort out. Then this next area is where I've always kept my mini gardening books that I've shown before and shared, that Mike got from his mum. They're very old, and as I say, they talk about using chemicals all the time, which obviously I ignore, but they are great. Each book contains about 2 different things to grow, all about that. And on top is my whatever book I'm reading at the moment. There's my little feather collection of feathers I've found. Here is a case I keep any of my recharging things, or batteries that need charging and anything like that, any connections, bits and pieces. And I've recently acquired a mini tripod come handle, which I'm trying to use at the moment. I don't think it's going to be any good for me because I did a little test film with it putting the camera on there, and it seemed more shaky than ever. So I'll see, but as a mini tripod it does work very well. You pull these 3 legs out the bottom, there are 3 legs, and that might work as a mini tripod, so I'll see about that. Then we have my bookshelf. Oh, there's some more leads and recharging stuff there that's easy to grab that I fix onto the computer, so they're my grab ones. And apart from encyclopedia, that's really old, it's just a big book that won't fit in my bookcase in my main room where I have all my books, so it sits there. We have a dictionary, a thesaurus, but everything else on these shelves are Greek, so any Greek books or anything Greek, or indeed Cypriot. And yes, there are different books for Cypriot. And you'll see, for example, this one says the Speaking Greek in Cyprus series, so it tells you all the differences of a couple of these books. So there's things like that. And then the top shelf, I've just changed around a little bit. These are my, what I call my regular earrings. I mostly wear these ones all the time just to keep the holes open. So they're there for easy grab, and a few other bits and pieces up there. This was something I got from my special needs group that I had to go to in England, and that was a leaving present with other things from them. And there was a present there from dancing, and that was from Mike. We first knew each other. He bought me that one, and another dancing one there, another hard for you to see. And my little words of wisdom that I've shared on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty channel. Then here is the desk that I now do my lives from, and in case you're wondering what this flannel's about, it's so hot here that my hand, side of my hand sticks to the desk. So that's why I have that there. And this is where I sit, and this is what I see. Obviously the lid's up on the computer when I'm using it, so I don't see what's behind it. There's my little light that I put on. Here's where I've moved one of the whiteboards to, and I did have a laugh in one of my lives that you can't see all what I've got planned for filming. The green ones are New Beginnings channel, the orange ones are Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty channel. The blue ones are the dance channel, but they're ones, things to film that I can film without going down to the dance studio. So they're things if I'm up here or it's raining or I can't be bothered to film dance things, they're things to film. I do have the other whiteboard is now down at the dance studio with a whole list like this of dance things to film. And then here is my quick grab things. If you see arrows down on these, that means there's information in here to include or such things. And this is my go-to sheet for the music I'm now using. I just grabbed that for music. Here's my little mug that I show at the end sometimes. And you'll probably like this. If you can read it, it says at the top, good old British weather. And then you've got here, winter in England. We'll wait at the bus stop with their raincoats and umbrellas. And summer in England at the bus stop. And they've got their shorts on, but still their umbrellas because it's pouring with rain. And I actually got that in the airport as I was leaving England for the last time. I found it in the airport shop and I thought, how brilliant was that? Here's my chair that I sit at, and it does tilt back with Mr. Colin Waffles demonstrating it for you. So it does lean back. I sit here a lot and read and so on and so forth. And then I can turn it round obviously, and this is my other desk I talk about. I've got some pictures that I sometimes say I'm ready for my next live, are you? and this is where the laptop, my old laptop, used to be. Here's the fan in the corner with my keyboard behind folded up with its stand. I've got headphones there. I don't like using headphones. It's a bit of an issue for me now to have my ears covered. There's that. Here's the window where Mr. Jimmy from The Astute Tourist could always hear my cicadas, and that is the patio there. Don't know if you can see through the screen. There's 2 hammocks there, and then the patio table. You probably can't see very well. So that's my view from the window. Obviously I can see it a bit better than you probably can. Patio, and then here is our driveway, and the goats hang their heads over the fence there that you can see, and the fence, and they just stand there and eat. And if you hear snorting during my video, it's normally there's goats there snorting. I post 3 times on New Beginnings channel. They're the green ones, so I actually make a video Monday, Friday, Saturday. I make those 3 videos. I post 3 videos on that channel a week. So that's the orange. I post Monday, Wednesday and Friday is when you see the videos. My dance channel and Tranquility I post also on a Wednesday, so that's why I've got ×3 there. Don't know if you can see that. And on a Saturday I've written community posts just to remind me, oh, have I put something up lately? Doesn't mean I'm always going to put one up there or at all, but it just makes me remember. On New Beginnings channel I do 2 lives, Monday and Wednesday. So we have here Monday, and that's called Fun Day Monday, and I post a live, or I do a live on a Wednesday, and that's Wednesday Friends Day. Now, because I've barely got any spare videos for Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty, I have planned to make one on a Wednesday and one on a Thursday. It doesn't happen, but if I can build up, they're the days I have a bit of time, so I make sure I do at least while those normally there, because Wednesday is a bit hectic with posting 3 videos at the moment. And then the dance channel, I post it, as I've said, on the Wednesday, and I try to make one on a Tuesday. At the moment I'm not doing those because I have tons and I do that with the dance channel. I've literally got about 100 videos, but then I don't bother making any, and then I find suddenly I'm like, yikes, I've got none left. And obviously it's difficult to film for me in the winter because of solar power and making videos. Oh, and I have actually got here on the Thursday, just this little post-it note reminds me to get rid of my 2 schedules for the week, because I've now done my 2 lives, and post 2 more schedules up. I do it different from everyone else, so that's another story. Next to that you can see my tablet that I do my Greek study on, and I don't film on it, barely ever. I have some issues with connecting it to the laptop, so I don't really use it for filming. So mostly that's for apps. That's what I've got it for, and it's got a very small memory anyway. Then I've now got a little tray there. The black book is my geocaching book, and my calendar behind it, so I can quickly look. And in that little tray I put any little loose bits of paper where it's little notes, need to do this, need to do that, or little notes. And I try to keep it empty. I used to just have them on in a paper clip on the table, but I don't like bits of paper, so they're in there, and as you can see that's quite empty. There's a bookmark underneath it. Always need a bookmark to grab. Here's my pens, some of them. In this desk drawer, the top drawer is my recycled paper, so I grab the paper from there, and the bottom drawer is more pens, so that's where all my pens are. Underneath, let me move Mr. Waffles out the way a bit. We have, this was an old CD drawers of Mike's. There's not actually sides or backs to the drawers, but in here I put my Greek flashcards, and I keep those in little plastic bags so they can't fall out. My sewing machine is behind. Wow. Here's my recycled paper. So this is paper I've used and used and used. I throw it in there and shred it for the garden, and I've got a rubbish bin under the other desk. This is what I've been sorting out. The very top is seeds. This is seeds as in seed packets. So this is packets of seeds, all lovely in there. I suppose you seed gurus would love to see what's in there. I have to show the seeds. So that's seed packets, or seeds people have given me. So there's seeds in there. There's a bit more than it looks, but these are all seeds. So I can fit a few in there. So that is actual packets. Now this set of drawers, it is going towards the bottom. The stand is very brittle, but I'm not bothered about that. Or at the side here, just boards, any sorts of boards to lean on and write or anything like that, or big charts. So this was a great old mixture of all sorts of things. Fairly recently I decided to put my gardening stuff, because the seeds were there, in the next 3 drawers. The top drawer was things like netting, small netting, and little bits and pieces that I didn't want to keep outside. Oh, sheets of like plastic off the front of files and folders, just for putting over for germination, but clean stuff that was in for indoors. And then the next 2 were jars of seeds. Well, that's been a palaver because they don't all fit in there anymore, and I had too much stuff. So I thought, we'll keep this now for crafts, because all my crafts, some was here and some was in the wardrobe. This is mostly templates. We've got this double-sided spongy stuff, and behind we have a box of tools, what I call tools, so different cutters and craft knives and things like that, and templates. So that's in that one. The second drawer now is my very small bits. I didn't have any room for all these things of flowers, so they've just gone on top. But it's glitter and little mini stick-on things and those kind of things. Lots of little bits and bobs, and these flower motifs. So it's all my little bits. The next drawer, this is all sequins or very similar things. Sequins, some are just stick-on ones and some are sew-on ones. Hence the boxes. These are old Cyprus Delight boxes that I've covered. I did a video on those, how to make the boxes as well and how to cover. And they're all sorted, all different types of sequins and things like that. Then I've liked this drawer, and I did take them all out and regretted it. These are all old video cases, and I've written, you can write on with China graph on the side, and as you can see, these are all different craft cutouts, shapes, letters, and there's 2 extra which actually do just fit on the top nicely, and this one's bulky because it's got trims in. So that fits nicely down the side, so I'm glad that went back in there because that worked well. This drawer, I've moved this from out the wardrobe. This will eventually be used up. This is all fancy bits and pieces. It's all like netty bits, netty things. A bit dark in this corner for you. Walls, foams, foils, all sorts of bits and pieces that eventually that will be used. And in the bottom, I won't pull it open because it is a bit tight, but it's all extra staplers and I forget what you call them. The Americans call them something funny, but it's like those, not necklaces, you know what you put around your neck and you can put your keys on or your ID. There's a funny name I hear the Americans calling them. I can't remember what it's called. Yarn. Anyway, those things. There's that. Then this is the backdrop to my lives currently. I quite like it. I had to keep the board in front, obviously, because if I have the fan on, it blows everywhere. And let's give a shout out to Black's Tropical Homestead, who's given me my first 2 stickers. There's that one. Soil Family, she calls everyone Soil Sister. I'm a Soil Sister, and obviously Soil Brother. And oh, I've got my Dawn here. It used to be a stand, but it broke, so I've just put a pin in there and it stands there nicely. And then you've got little bits that came on Black's Tropical letter to me where I won the seeds. And I'm doing a separate video on those seeds, Sherry, if you're looking, so you won't see much of them, but I'm doing from beginning to end, and I'll make it one video. Here's my very pretty fibre optic light that I love. I love any coloured lights. This I've always had, I've showed it in a video recently. It's a basket, and I've got each channel there, and it's the videos to post, literally, that are ready, done and in there, and a few odd bits and pieces, such as I'm doing Canva. I'm working on Canva at the moment, so I'm doing making notes on Canva, what I've actually made in Canva, and all the different things between JPEGs, GIFs, PNGs and all that, SVGs, PDFs, all those things. If you want to know the difference of all those, I'm your person. I know what they all are, what sizes everything is and what you need. And then this, I had a few files here, what I was actively using, and my garden big books. And now I've taken away that little drawer you saw on my desk with all the paper clips and all that under the pens. That was under here, and so was that blue container that I showed you behind my computer. That was on here. So I thought, right, all files put here together. Here's some dance files I am sorting out, so they're not away. And my stone that I got after I did the Alice in Wonderland show. The Cheshire Cat painted that for me. And here is, I did have all my jewellery out here, and that's where Virgil is now. He keeps moving around, but he's home there now. Did have all my jewellery out there, so it was grabbable and I'd use it. It used to be in the wardrobe, but I thought I'm not putting necklaces on and changing them about, so I'll keep them out. Well, they're fine there, but all the bracelets and ring boxes, it was just looking a mess. So this was the main reason for starting this change around, because files were in these drawers and odds and ends were in these drawers. And as I say, files, you could fit 2 or 3 in a drawer sideways laying down, and the drawer was full, so it was a waste. So that was my main reason for starting the clear out. So I've put the jewellery that was out on the top, rings and bracelets and other earrings. They're in there now, so it's still as grabbable. I just open the drawer and I can see what I've got. The second drawer is the rest of the jewellery, and when I was recently on a live sorting out makeup, I had lots of, you guys call them chapsticks, but they're not really, those sort of things. And there's a spare one underneath for anything else, so all those are in there grabbable. And the perfume infusers that I found, they're in there for now. So that's rings and brooches. I did a video, I sorted all these out, everything. So if you want to see what I've got, they're all my rings. There's some more earrings in there. So do check out all my links below. I always link relevant videos that match under all my videos. Now this is my drawer of what I just call my things. So it's just bits and pieces. Normally things I want to grab when I'm going out. So we've got all different glasses and sunglasses, little purses and wallets. That's actually a kaleidoscope. I don't know what I'm doing with that yet. Oh, these are fridge magnets. Different words. I'll probably have fun with those on the video, and so are these. So I'll probably have fun with those on the video. And then at the back here I've got, this is my address book, and an old file of facts that's got a few bits of info and that in it. So that's what I call my stuff, which makes sense with my jewellery. And then the other 3 drawers here. Top drawer I did clean out a long time ago, again on another video. I think it might have been a live. I was sorting out all my stationery. So these are what I call the spare stationery that I don't really use, or just spare, such as we have sellotape. And there again, I think Americans call it Scotch tape, which is a brand. Oh, so sellotape's a brand. And it's got extra pencils and extra pens and sharpeners. The bits I didn't want to throw away are in here: crayons, chalk, any of those kind of things. The next drawer down. Now this was in the white craft drawers originally, but they were always a bit stuck when I tried to pull them out. In here I made these. These are all cubes that I've got a set of them. These are my spare ones, and I put Greek letters on them all. So in my Greek videos I can actually spell words out for you. Then we have more letters. I think these are called like letter set or something. Some are stick-ons, some are transfers. And then in here, I did sort this out on the video, all my stencils. So there's letter stencils and flower pattern stencils. So I did a video including all those, and I found that bag then for those to go in. I'll just pop that away. So if you like, that's all letters and stencils. And then the bottom drawer is stationery, as in books. I bought these recently when I had my one day out in, I had 3 weeks I was out of lockdown. Very recently I'm back in lockdown again, hence why I'm doing things like this, keep myself occupied. And I bought 3 of these because if you watch my video on how I make videos and how I can very quickly find a video reference for you, I'm running out of pages, so I bought 3 of these ready, and then other new notebooks and things in there. So now we go on to the big wardrobe. This has always been here. We bought this when we first came here just for storage, because it is a bedroom really. So in here, let me just pull back a bit so you can see. The bottom I haven't really changed. That is where all the stationery, notelets and art information books are. So this is still really the craft side. So yeah, that's all. I've got one of those, what you put on the desk for your in and out folders and paperwork and that. I've got that in there, which makes great shelving. So there's a tip for you. Yeah, the side here is, again, this will be used up eventually. It's notelets and envelopes. So this is all letter writing, some stickers, things like that. So I'll probably leave that actually as it is. The bow I've just put in there for a minute because it needs to stay in a good shape. And I don't know where to keep it at the minute. And that is, if you sponsor a tree here, you get a picture as well, the things you get with the bow round and your channel name or your name or who you've devoted the tree to. So I need to keep that nice and clean there. So I'll link that video below. It's a great Christmas present or anniversary present, or indeed if you want to remember a pet or something like that, then you just sponsor. You can pick what tree. It can be an olive tree or a fruit tree, but I'll link that video below. Here's another of the Cyprus Delight boxes. I keep them all. And you can get all sorts of different flavours. This was a mixed flavour. Pomegranate, grape, cactus fruit. So it was a nice flavour. Carob you can get, that's nice. So Cyprus Delights, you have to buy some of those when you come to Cyprus. That I want to cover, so that's just sitting there. And again, it's craft, so it's glue. This is It's like Jif, I think so. Oh, Sif, some of you call it now, but it's Jif. It's like a cream cleaner, and I actually use a tiny bit of that on my whiteboard sometimes. I know it can be abrasive, but that's fine. In here is my paints, oil paints and other paints, as in hand painting, not like DIY painting. So that's all my paints. This is all my paint brushes. It's absolutely full of paint brushes. Again, craft paint brushes. And then here is another box that you won't believe how downgraded all this stuff is. It will go eventually. It's things, pictures out of magazines and little trims, as in picture trims and border trims, and so it's anything pictures and that kind of thing that you want to stick on, make a card or make anything else. So that's what I've got left of that. I've really got that down. And now this was using up a whole drawer. As you can see, I've labelled the box now. I found a box for it. Gingerbread Folk and Friends. And this is my, I won't show you inside in case you've not caught up with all the characters yet. This is where I make on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty, following the life of a gingerbread man, what he gets up to, and you meet some funny friends on the way. It's really great if you just want a little laugh. So him and all his friends and bits I use for that were just in a drawer. So again, it was a waste of a drawer. Now I can just pull the box out if I want to get to anything else. So I'm quite happy with that. Yes, I could put another shelf in, but it's fine as it is. Let's go on the other side. The top shelf was initially the jewellery that you saw in the drawers I've just shown you and out on the top. So I emptied that out. For now, and this is maybe temporary, I don't know, I actually, when I finished sorting out, I had the top shelf free. So that back box that I've made is actually, for now, anything I want to use in the future for my lives on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. So if I think, oh, I'll share that or I'll do that, it just gets thrown in there at the moment. This is the box I use for my Wednesday lives, which is on this channel, which is just the chit chat, and that's the joke book on the top. So that's there. I don't need much for that. I could technically put that on top the other box, and that big blue crate for the Monday lives could go in here, there. This is my cross stitch shelf. I haven't changed this, and it does need a sort out, but I haven't touched it. This is what I just pull out if I'm going to work on. This is my project I'm working on, my apron. So this I pull out, I can take out in the garden. It's got what I'm using right now and all my colour threads and the pattern. It's standing up in there, the pattern. So I just grab it and go. The rest of the shelf is other bits for cross stitch, things I haven't made yet. And these are cards that you can make cross stitch and put in the cards. And it's very deep, this wardrobe. Behind that is a big box like this full of all the cross stitch books where I get my patterns from. And there's a index file that I've actually written down what's in each magazine or book, so I don't have to keep sifting through when I want to find something. This is my makeup, and behind that is some keep things. This is my electronic thing, so that would be where my little mini CD player is and things like that. This was what I told you that I've just got. I showed you where you've got the mini tripod. It's got a microphone with it. Again, doesn't work. Can someone explain to me what all these microphones are that don't seem to work? And then it's actually got a backlight as well. That's why Mike got it for me. So like filming in here, maybe I should have used it. Would have been lighter, but I can lighten it up. So this is all my bits and pieces really here, and electronics. And then the very bottom shelf, it says art technology books. That was already on there when I salvaged it from a English school that just kept once a year throwing everything away, and we used to just go and grab it all. So this is full of any art and craft paper and some more art and craft stuff. So if you like, this side is my cross stitch, my lives, my makeup, electronics and bits and pieces, and the other side you've seen. And then here I need to sort these out. These are where I've got all the old newspapers that I've shared on the channel. This is the small tripod that I already have that I can't use because this connection bit, so Mike's going to have this back. It doesn't really want to connect, and it's something about you have to slide this thing in and out, and it's just not working with my video camera, so Mike can have that one back, but for now it sits there out the way. And these are all my old computer games. They're all like CDs, and I'm slowly going through. Some don't work and maybe some do, so I'm going through those. So you ask yourselves, where did all my jars of seeds go? Well, now we come out into the kitchen and diner. This is where I have all the books that I've been given. So we have a nice bookcase. When we did Airbnb here and we used the bedroom, the top shelf here had all the information for guests, places to go and things like that. But now we're not doing it. I thought this was much better. These, I don't use candles in these. But they were on my fireplace mantle with all our wedding photos, and although I loved them on there, it was just too cluttered with both. It needed one or the other, so I thought, well, that'd be perfect on there. These are all, you probably can't see these are all shots of our house from the air when Mike flew the plane over our house. Yeah, I don't think you can see that because I can see the sun reflecting. So we have shots of our house. And if you can see it, yes, our land goes all the way from here. We haven't quite got all our land in the picture. All here, all here, all here, all here. And again, we haven't quite got this end. You've got that corner. And that is all our land. It comes down here more and down here more. And this is all our land. So these are all the books I've been given that I will read and see if I want to keep them or not. If I keep them, they go on my bookshelves in my lounge. Or if I don't want to keep them, they go down for our workaways or Airbnb guest. And the book nook, which I'm speaking about at the moment, I'm going to share more news on that, where anyone local can come and take free books. I'll talk about that more later in another video because it's going to be quite long. So here is a shelf where I've put all the jars of seeds. Now the jars of seeds are seeds I've collected. So these aren't from packets. These are literally seeds I have collected. I'm quite proud when I see them all together like this. There are a few more that, as you saw, I was dealing with on the top of the black shelves. So there are some more. Now what I thought here is, because we're now in the dining room, I would love to get like mason jars, but the brightly coloured ones. I don't just want mason jars because I don't want to paint them up because they've got seeds in, so I don't want to mess around with that. I want already coloured mason jars, all different colours. Don't you think that would look so pretty there? And then I'll work out a really nice way of labelling them. This is how I've labelled them for now. This is watermelon there, and I always put a bit of tissue in with them. They are dry, they are clean. I'll make sure they're dry before they go in, but just in case there's any moisture, particularly as they're not airtight, because there's obviously gaps in some of them. If you put a bit of kitchen paper or paper towel, whatever you want to call it, in with the seeds, if there is any moisture, then that will help with that. So we have all sorts. We've got zucchinis, nanos, squash, all different sorts of zucchinis and squash, pumpkins, sweet melon, yellow melon, peppers, watermelon, okra. What's that? Oh, that's my aubergines. I've labelled it with a bit of paper inside. Chilli, chard, broccoli, all sorts of tomatoes, onions, sweet corn. That's from this year. did get a harvest of sweet corn, cauliflower, lettuce, cucumber, and then we got flowers, what I call the omedos flower, that is the 4 o'clock flower, and many other names. Weed tree that I haven't yet named, lemon tree, and other fruit trees. So that is my seed collection. I'm going to save up. I'm having trouble actually finding them. I had a quick search for mason jars, but as I say, I don't want the white ones. I don't want the expensive ones. I think you can get them for your garden, so not a proper one, but it needs to be obviously a good lid on it. But I want pretty painted jars or coloured jars. That's what I want. And I think I need about 45, I worked out, with all what I've still got up on those shelves to sort out, and a few more other bits that I will be collecting seeds from. But can you imagine, all pretty coloured jars? And obviously when I've got rid of all these books, I will have 2 more shelves, so I can really set them out really pretty. I will get more books given to me and donated, but as I say, I'm starting this book nook thing, which is actually giving away books to anyone in Cyprus, can find my location and come and get free books, whether they be on holiday or live here. So I will do more info on that. If you want more info on that and you're like, oh, I want to know what that is, how can I come and get free books from you in Cyprus, just drop me a comment below and I'll link any information to you on that as I film it. As I say, I want to do a proper video on it. And then if I do get donated books, they will be out there or in the areas for my guests. So I hope you enjoyed that little mini tour. As I say, I do have more to sort out. This is that's all Mike's pictures. Let me share those quickly with you. So these are his planes that he's worked on. And here's the planes he was working on, because he does old planes. He's got pictures of the engines and so on. The cars, his kit cars that he had. That's when the Red Arrows parked where he worked. And this is another plane. You can't see it very well. You need to ask him to post pictures on his channel of his planes. And that's one he worked on. He rebuilt that from nothing. And so on. Yeah, so this area is at the moment what I'm sorting out. This is my recyclable things I can use in the garden. The bucket's brand new, by the way. It's a Mr. and Mrs. bucket. Mike came home, he said we need a bucket each. He got a blue one. He said there's a red one for you, Mr. and Mrs. bucket. So that I've got to find a home for. As I say, these are all things I'm going to use in the garden. I make growing pots out of these. These are going to be great for little seeds. And these, I think, did this come with the freezer? This either came with, yeah, I think, no, not the freezer. This came, I think, with my chopper. And these would be fantastic for growing. You can grow nice straight carrots in these, guys. If you would want to know how to grow straight carrots, pick something like this and you'll get straight carrots in each one. And then, as I say, there's the chopper box that I'm going to use. And this is my recycled paper. I've shredded all this. Here's some more I've shredded, all ready to go on a new bed. And there we go. So I hope you enjoyed this little bit of update, what I've been doing, while I've been on my yet another lockdown. And until next time, Meraki.